When are you gonna make the decision to go all in? You've been thinking about it, you watch these videos, you watch another video, another day goes by, you get pissed off, you do some shit you really don't like that you know is not aligned with the guy you want to become. And that process keeps going over and over and over and over again. When is the moment? There's gonna be a point where you just say, fuck it, I'm making a decision and I'm gonna go do this thing. I'm gonna pursue this thing, and it's gonna be a little difficult, and there might be some failure, and I might have to face rejection or face failure or face judgment from my peers. And I can accept that. I'm okay with that. I can tolerate that, absorb that part of it that's gonna happen, that uncomfortable part, and I'm gonna go through it anyway. For a lot of people, it's not until they hit extreme low points of pain, and some people don't even get out of that. They just stay in that. They stay in the fucking negativity the whole life. And they hang around other people that are in those frequencies, and they just kind of like, that's their commonality. And then they do drugs, and they do all this bad shit that kind of just keeps them in that space. And then there's other people that hit like breaking points. Like for me, the first time was when my dad died, but I didn't actually like go forward because I was very young. I just escaped. I just went into video games. Just went heavy into an escape, the reality of the situation. And in my defense, I was only 12 years old. But if I could go back, I would tell myself, dude, what the fuck are you running from? Are you trying to escape this shit? You don't want to go back to the grave? You don't want to like accept the reality and make it, turn it into an opportunity to become stronger. And obviously I get that I was 12 years old, but dude, if I could be my younger self's older brother, he needs a massive mindset adjustment, just like most of you dudes. You need a massive change in perspective. You're running away from shit. You're literally running away from shit. You turn to the alcohol, the drugs, the bullshit, porn, video game, TV, bad food, laziness, whatever the fuck is. It's all a means of running away. Stop running away, dude. Stop. It's what I would tell my younger self. It took me so fucking long. I'm angry thinking about it. I'm 34 and a half. I'm like halfway to 35 years old. And I've been trying to get better with my self-development since I was in my early 20s. I started working out when I was 17. Fucking 17 years of self-development. It took me this long to finally get like my dream physique. I always struggled with my diet. Throughout my teenage years, I ordered the fucking 6-pack abs, John Bay style. I had the ab crunch thing on VHS when I was in my teenage years, bro. Crazy. I've been trying to do it. Took me so long. It doesn't need to take you that long. I just didn't have the right mindsets around the whole thing though. And I hung around the wrong people. I watched the wrong content. I didn't have somebody like this. You know why I make this content? I'm so passionate about it because like this is the dude I needed when I was younger. I didn't have that. But I would tell my younger self at several different phases, whether it was my dad dying at 12 or in my teenage years playing video games, or when my first girl left me when I was 24, or even in my late 20s, like at each stage, I was always turning to these drugs, alcohol, vices, weird fucking diets, man. Like all this bullshit, dude. All of this bullshit. You got to make a decision to just commit to the thing. Stop dancing around it. Because I did that. At first, I just tried to escape. I would do video games, and then I tried to escape with just weed, and then I was smoking weed every day and night from 17 to 27. 17 to 27. I was still going to school. I still did all the things that would make my mom happy and, you know, was living a normal life. But, dude, I was fucking dancing around the thing. Like, really what I needed to do was just remove the bad food, stop smoking the weed, stop drinking entirely, start pushing myself socially, start putting out more content consistently, and just committing to do the things I needed to do every single day, relentlessly. You think that you need to do other shit. You don't. I swear to God, you don't. Nothing else you do is going to make you feel better. We're programmed to think you do that for a couple days and you take a break for a couple days and it's healthy to recharge. That just means you don't have that much endurance or stamina around the whole thing. Imagine a marathon runner. That dude could run 5 miles every day, easy. You could do 10 miles every day. I have a client that does almost 20 miles a day. Because the endurance has been built up, the resilience has been built up. You're not in a position right now to just go all out every single day. You're not. But you could start committing to a couple of these actions on a daily basis and start building up a streak. You got to make a decision though to go all in on that, man. Stop dancing around the thing. Like I was dancing around social confidence in my 20s. I would study the content, and I wouldn't fucking take action on it. And then when the weekend came around, I still couldn't do it, so I had to get drunk and numb myself so I could go and do it. That was me dancing around the fucking thing. And then I would do that Friday, Saturday, get some drunken validation, even though I didn't really push myself or stand up to my fears sober. And then Sunday, I would just smoke the fucking weed, play my video games, go to M&S to order a pepperoni roll and a couple specialty slices, and then just binge the fuck out to bring myself back down to a lower level. Because I had spent Friday night, Saturday night pushing myself socially, and now I needed to go turn back to more vices to bring myself back down into my comfort zone because I stretched my comfort zone Friday night, Saturday night while I was fucking drunk. And then I'm spending Monday, Tuesday kind of dazed out, sober-ish, hungover-ish, feeling like shit, carb overloaded. I used to get these specialty slices, and then my ex, when I was in my early 20s, she worked at Ruth Chris, so she would bring me this apple crumb with a Haagen-Dazs vanilla and a fucking pudding. Oh my God. Bread pudding on top of all of that shit. Man, I just love that shit. And dude, I'm a fat ass at heart, but I have control now. I have the strength to say no to these things. And more importantly, I've built up streaks because I made a decision that I'm going all in on this fucking thing. And then once you can commit to something 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, but you track it, you need to track it, man. You got to track this thing. If you're going to make a decision to go in, you got to track it on a daily basis. I cannot stress how important that is. I never tracked my shit. Every morning now, I'm tracking my shit. I know exactly how many days in a row I've been going to the gym, how many days in a row without my vices, how many days in a row making the content, how many days in a row, all of these different streaks. And that's important. It's important because once you make the decision to go in, you need to know the accomplishment and how much it's building up. But more importantly, you want to get to a point where you don't break the streak. If it's important to you and you want to make progress with the thing, you don't have the fucking mental resilience right now to just do it indefinitely. But I bet you do, like gun to your head, you could probably commit to it for 21 days, 30 days, 50 days. You could probably commit to something that long. But for some reason, you don't make the decision. That's the whole point of this video. Make the decision now that you're gonna make a change. And it doesn't need to be for life. Like when I was trying to quit weed, the idea of quitting for life was crazy. I wasn't in that mindset yet. You don't get to a mindset where you could quit something for life until you've already proven to yourself you could do the thing for an extended period of time. So if right now you're struggling with whatever the thing is, porn, drugs, alcohol, video games, fucking bullshit, TV, not going out, not being social, not posting the content, not starting the business, I don't give a fuck what the thing is. Commit to doing it for 21 days. And track it every single morning. You write down the action that you took the day before. What was your regret from the day before? How could you do it differently today? I have regrets in my notepad. Anytime I go throughout my day and I have a regret, I write it down. And then the next morning when I'm doing my journaling, I turn to my previous regrets of the day. And I write those down today. I want that shit to fucking sting. I want that shit to sting. That way you don't make the same mistake again. You put your hand on the stove and that shit will fucking sting, and then you don't put your hand on the stove again. The next time you're in that situation, you're thinking about putting on the stove, you know better. That's what we do in our day-to-day, but we don't have a sting. We don't have anyone to report to. We don't have anybody tracking the thing. And so you make a decision momentarily based off of emotion when you're feeling motivated. I want to start this thing. I'm fed up. I'm going to do the thing. And then you don't track shit. So there's no accountability. There's nothing in place. You have no idea how many days in a row you've been doing it. You have no end goal in sight. How are you going to stick to something indefinitely without some type of reward or punishment system in place? You need that as leverage to get over that initial hump of the first 50, 100 days, whatever it is, to even then get to a point where you're in a different mindset. Right now, you're not in that mindset. Your mindset right now is completely different than it will be if you were to do the thing 50 days in a row, 100 days in a row. And I know, because I just did 100 days of a crazy routine and of 4 a.m. celibacy, no drugs, no alcohol, fucking no TV. I think I watched TV 2 days when my mom was visiting me. No TV, fucking, I can't even say the whole list right now. It's kind of an absurd list, but I promise you, by the 100 days, by the 100th day, I was in a different, way different headspace than I was at day 0. And that still has like, I don't wake up at 4 a.m. every day now, but the mindset that was created from going through that journey has stayed with me. That has stayed with me. And I might actually go back to 4 a.m. at some point. Right now I'm doing about 5:30. But I've been thinking I might end up going back to it. I think 5's honestly a little bit better personally, but that's a whole nother thing. Wake up times, regardless, get up early though, man. But the moral of the story, guys, is until you make the decision that you're gonna go all in on the thing and stop dancing around it and stop turning to the vices, stop doing all the bullshit that's distracting you from going in on the thing, until you make that decision and then you start tracking it on a daily basis, that's the only way you're gonna make progress. You need to make it over that first 30-day hump, dude. Commit to it. Commit to doing it 30 days in a row, 21 days in a row. I don't care what the number is. Tell yourself whatever number that you think is slightly out of reach, but if you push yourself, you could get to that number. For some of you fucking dudes, it's 7 days. I don't care. Track the thing, write down the regrets of the day, and do better the next day. And you'll have slip-ups along the way, but you'll be better than you are today. You'll be stronger than you are today. If you do it 7 days in a row and you hit a fucking PR, you'll be a stronger dude. And then if you slip on the 10th day, you go back into it. And then you've already made it to that point. You could go further the next time, and you go further the next time. I didn't just quit weed one day. I tried to give it up. I did 30 days no weed. I went back into it. Did 100 days no weed. Smoked on the 99th day at midnight. Like a fucking weak pussy, dude. So could not wait. Rolling up my joint at 10 p.m. on day 99. And then I hated myself weeks later for going back to it. Gave up nicotine for 1 year. On the 1 year mark, I fucking bought a vape. Like a fucking dumbass. Still wanted to smoke. Did a whole year. Went back. 2 months later, hated myself. Just did another year. I just did another year no nicotine. That was 3 years ago. Did a year no nicotine. Went back to it. Did a couple months. Did another year off. And now I'm coming up on whatever the fuck whatever that is. I'm at like a year and a half no nicotine. Something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't track it anymore. I'm done with the nicotine indefinitely. But if you would have asked me at one point, would you be able to quit this forever? I would have said no, because I wasn't in the mindset at the time. I needed to create a timeline where I could just give it up for that amount of time. And by going through that timeline, your mindset will then change after you've gone through the action, after you've gone through those experiences, the mindset will change. Dudes are always asking me, what's the mindset, Kyle? I had this client just call me. He said, hey, I've been in a slump, Kyle. Like, what do you suggest to change my mindset? Because I haven't been doing much. I said, this is literally what I told him. I said, you haven't done shit and you think your mindset's gonna change? You think suddenly you're gonna feel more motivated? Why the fuck would you feel more motivated? You haven't done shit, dude. You need to start taking action today. You set some goals that you could stick to today and you start taking the actions. And then as you start going through the action, once you've had the experiences, the mindset will follow. That's the only way it works, man. There's no book that's gonna change the fucking mindset. You go through the action, you experience the new action, and then the mindset starts to change. You can't quit right now. You can't do your new action indefinitely. So you commit to doing it 7 days. And when you do it 7 days in a row, you've had new experiences of doing it 7 days in a row. The mindset starts to change. And then you go to 21 days, and then you go to 50 days, and you just push that shit as hard as you can, as far as you can go with it. Using your friends, using leverage, using content, consuming the right content, using mentors, getting guidance. Those things are all leverage to keep you on the right course to go beyond 50 days, 100 days. And if at some point you slip, you have accountability in place, you have someone to report to, and you get back on the horse and you go further the next time, dude. That's how you become strong as fuck in any category, bro. Because I'm telling you, because I'm the most disciplined, most consistent, the hardest working I've ever been in my life. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. I still have regrets. I still slip up. But dude, it's way tighter than it's ever been. And it's only getting better. It's only getting better day by day. Make a decision to go all in. If you want help getting more leverage, more accountability, working with me directly, talking to me, being inside a community of other dudes pushing you to keep you on the right course, because you can't do it by yourself, or you could do it faster with us around, click the button below, get into the group, man. Join the lower tier community. Awesome, extremely affordable option going on right now. Can't beat it. one-on-one onboarding call, daily live calls with me and the communities there, all the content's there. Dude, stop buying rounds at the bar, stop buying vapes, stop buying drugs, stop buying bullshit food out, and get into the group. Invest in yourself for a couple dollars a day, man. Buttons down below. Make the decision to go all in and then track that shit. Commit to it 7 days, 21 days, 30, 50, 100 days, and watch your mindset start to shift as you go through that process. That's all for this video, guys. It's Saturday morning. I just crushed my workout, hitting my goals, even on the weekends, no setbacks. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out. Let's go.